your hands in the air, shake the dairy, yeah. These three words mean you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is, hit me. Whoop, there it is. 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 Whoop, there it is.
What's up, everybody? We're back, catching up with Neighborhood Heroes, Part 2. And we're here with my man, Zelik Wooten, a.k.a. Woot. Welcome, Woot.
How y'all doing? Zelik from Garner Valley. Graduated 1 year behind Tim. It's my homie, and ready to catch up.
Dude, who would have thought? I was sitting here, catching vibes, just living life, right?
Yeah.
Dude, we've had some great times together back in the day. I mean, we played football together, went to school together, so we're about to get into it a little bit. So, Woot, you told me that you graduated from Garner Valley, and out of high school, you were planning on going through college and bachelor's degree, all that. And tell me your journey. Like, how did it go? Like, that. What was your whole dream goal?
So, right out of college, right out of high school, I went to IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I went there for 1 semester. So I went there not really knowing what was going on. I just went because everyone else was going to school. So I'm like, oh, I got to go. Went there, met some good people, had a fun time, but I quickly realized that I might be doing the wrong thing for me. I started lacking in school, not showing up to class, and I started getting into a depressive state. So I decided to take myself out a little bit. So I transferred home to Delaware County Community College. And that wasn't any better. I thought maybe because I was far from home, that wasn't it. It was 4 hours. It was the furthest I've ever been from home for a long period of time. So came home, Delaware County, 20 minutes away. Still wasn't it for me. So I dropped out of there. And
damn, at that point, you're probably like, what am I doing with my life?
You have no idea.
For sure.
I was sitting in my room for hours, just like, what am I doing? I'm going to be homeless. I'm 20 years, or I'm 19 years old, like just thinking about the absolute worst. I had no idea. But and
the thing with Garner Valley, like, I mean, a lot of people take it for granted. Like, everyone from this area goes to college.
Exactly.
So, like, that pressure just had to keep building on. So, what did you go to school initially to study, or what did you think you wanted to do? Like, your career path that you going into college, what were you planning on doing? Where then you drop out and you're like, how am I going to get to that dream still? You know what I mean? Like, kind of talk about that. Like, what was your initial plan?
So the thing is, I never had an initial plan. I went to school for business because I knew that I could do a lot with that.
Right.
Not knowing what I wanted to do yet. But I could talk to people, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do yet. So I knew I could branch out a few ways with that. But I just knew I couldn't get that route. So when I got home, I was like, all right, how am I going to get here? I don't have any – I'm working at Texas Roadhouse in Philadelphia Pretzel Factory. I'm like, this isn't going to get me to where I want to be. I have goals for myself. That wasn't cutting it, you know? And it got to a point where when I was home, I was scared to go out in public because I didn't want to see parents or anything. Like, oh, how's school going? And I'm like, oh, I'm not there anymore.
Right.
And I felt like because I didn't go there, I wasn't doing good enough, and I felt, honestly, like below everyone at that time.
And that's the crazy part is, like, when you go to college, like, you feel like you're on top of the world, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, you're following the plan, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, this isn't for me. It gets tough. It's got to be. So when you're going through that time and you were alone, what were you doing to get through those times? So, I mean, a lot of people out there, I mean, coming out of high school, and a lot of them are kind of either not even going to school or going to school and dropping out. Like, how did you get through that time where you're just like, damn, like, because you're at Garner Valley, you're on top of the world senior year, football guy, I mean, big man on campus, and then all of a sudden, you're working at the pretzel factory, and you're like, damn, this is a real life.
Yeah. So, really, I just kept myself busy. I was working at pretzel factory, Texas Roadhouse. Come home, I would draw. That was the only thing I was able to free my mind, really. Got to the point where I was drawing about 9 hours a day, and I was like, you know what? This is making me feel good right now. I'm going to keep doing this.
Damn, so that was your, like, release.
Yeah.
So then you get really good at drawing. I saw it on social media. I know a lot of people out there follow this kid on social media, and I was like, damn, So then the next step of your life, explain what you started doing with that drawing.
So I was drawing 9 hours a day, and I had friends from high school, friends from college, like, hey, you should look into tattooing. And at first I was just like, nah, like, what am I going to do with that? I don't know. I just have that traditional tattoo shop in my head.
Right.
Where, like, all hardcore rock music and all this, like, bikers and all that shit like that. So that was in my head. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, what am I doing with that? But I eventually looked into it. I found out there's not everywhere is not like that. There's different vibes depending on who's the owner and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, I'll look into it. I started hitting up shops from the area and asking, hey, I'm into this. Like, would you check out my art? And I would like to become an apprentice. I actually got denied 12 times.
Whew.
Yeah. So it was.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. It was like
an uphill battle.
Mm-hmm. And like it was times where I'm like, you know what, this isn't it. I gotta find something else. And the one shop where I started working at, where I did my apprenticeship, he said, okay, I'll teach you how to tattoo, but you might have to wait 3 months because I have a current apprentice. I'm like, all right, I can do that. I'll keep drawing for 10 hours a day. Did that, waited my 3 months. Hit him up. He's like, he's not ready yet. Another 3 months. So, all right, whatever. Still working at Texas Roadhouse, pretzel factory. Doing good. Waited that 3 months. Again, he said, another 3 months. So I waited about 2.5 months more. So at this point, it's like 8.5 months. And I'm just like, all right, this is falling through. I got to find something else. And like right after I had those thoughts, like 2 days later, he hit me up. I'm ready to go. You can come in, move your stuff in. Let's get after it. And I was like, wow, like I waited this long. I was literally just thinking about what else I could do now.
Right.
And I finally, it took time, but
God answered.
Yeah.
Damn. So a lot of people, in that situation probably would have gave up. In that free time, you're working the pretzel factory, the Texas Roadhouse, but how are you practicing your tattooing or like your drawing or, you know what I mean? Like going into those shops. A lot of kids out there, I don't know, coming out of the county that they're trying to be a tattoo artist and they're like, where do I start on tattooing with people? Because that's permanent. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, kind of talk about how during that time, were you practicing on people or?
So during that time, the first person I practiced on was myself because I tattooed Doodle Bob on myself, on my thigh, and also Cartman from South Park. But I practiced on one of my best friends, Dave Calabro, and then my brother, Kenny. He let me he actually had the tattoo kit. He got it for me. So I was like, no, I'll f*** around on his arm. But, I practiced on that, but I knew that when I'm starting something, I want to get it right.
Right.
So I realized I'm just teaching myself these things. I'm gonna slow off. I'm gonna hold off on that, and I'm just gonna draw because I don't want to pick up any bad habits.
Right.
Which I did pick up some, but I obviously corrected those. But yeah, you want to get the feel for it, but you don't want to go too crazy and start thinking you know something
that you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing with tattooing. It's a one try
someone's
go.
Skin.
Yeah, for sure. So you go in with that apprenticeship. How was that going? You had to be nervous walking in there first day,
bro.
On someone that you don't even know tattoo. Tattooing on Dave and your boys, and that's got to be a whole different vibe.
Whole different ball game because tattooing before that, it's in my house. I'm comfortable. Place I'm comfortable at. I'm good. But going in there, I had him over my shoulder, so I'm like, shit. And then I'll never forget my first tattoo. It's a butterfly. And I turn the machine on and I reach up. The tattoo was top of her, below her neck, top of her back. And I'm like, so I turned it off. I put it down. All right, I gotta, let me get myself ready again. Turn it on. I'm like,
and you don't know this girl?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did. But still, it wasn't the point. It was my boss was behind me, just watching me. I'm like, shit, I'm sweating, bro. I'm sweating bullets. I was.
So how did it go?
The tattoo went well once I got the hang of it. So I had to I kind of rested my arm against her to slow my arm down a little bit and like kind of
Really got into it.
I got into it, and then I was like, all right, I got this.
Getting back to your confidence.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
then
main
I got
thing.
it. That tattoo got like still like I still don't get like on average as many likes as that one did, and like I'm like, all right, people love this, and I love that, so I'm gonna keep going. My confidence is up. I got this, and I had appointments every day since then, and I knew where I wanted to be at that point.
So where did you initially? So like I know a lot of kids are like probably are wondering that maybe think about tattooing. Like where are you at right now? Where were you at before? Where did you start at? Like the store name or the you know what I mean? Like in the county, or I know you're in Delaware now.
Yeah.
Like who did you reach out to for connections? I mean,
So his name was Bill. He was the owner of Northern Lights Tattoo.
Okay.
So he originated in Delaware, but he moved to Chester Springs. It's like right past Exton, PA. So I started there and stayed there for about 9 months. And unfortunately, like during COVID, that shop shut down.
Right.
So, but yeah,
damn.
yeah.
So then where are you at now?
I'm in Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay.
Yeah, like not far at all. Right off 95, right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're there. You're an apprentice. Are you still an apprentice?
No,
Or-
yeah.
How does that work?
So really, apprenticeship is that's like you're learning.
Okay.
There's someone teaching you, like your mentor.
Gotcha.
And, he's showing you the ropes. You gotta. The one thing about tattooing, someone can tell you what to do all day long, but like, you have to pick it up. Like you can't be taught how to do a straight line. You're going to have a few crooked lines, but it's going to take that and to get it straight. So your apprenticeship is really just learning. You got to figure out what you need to figure out, and then when your mentor feels like you're ready, you lose your apprenticeship, you start making more money, stuff like that.
Okay, so basically they're a mentor.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So right now you're on your own, just doing tattoos. Would you ever think about opening up a new shop?
Oh, for sure. That's definitely
Just yourself, like kind of like opening it up by yourself, and then that would be lit.
So that's definitely a goal of mine. That's always been a goal of mine. Like I'm comfortable where I'm at right now.
Right.
Good vibes. Love my coworkers.
Seems
and all
like
that.
cool people.
Yeah. So I'm not really ready to make that move yet, but like I definitely want to have my own studio.
Right.
Stuff like that.
And would you have other people work for you at that? Yeah.
Eventually
Yeah.
I would, but I don't need that right now. So, but I definitely want to get there. I want to be able to have people work for me, and eventually I could slow down a little bit because it definitely takes toll on your body.
Right, for sure.
Bending all types of ways all day.
Sitting
your
down
neck,
all day,
yeah.
kind of.
Exactly.
And one of the main topics I want to hit was your social media.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, out of nowhere, you went from like 100 to 200 to 1,000 to 2 to 3 to 4. And I was like, damn. Like, you're really blowing up, man. I mean, how many other people out of Garner Valleys do you know that's tattooing? I don't know one. I know little Tina Besso's trying to get out there, so like that's cool. Like you can mentor him.
Yeah, I'm trying to mentor him up.
Yeah,
right now,
that's what I'm
actually.
talking about. So I mean, before us though, never heard of one.
No.
And then look at you, you're blowing up. So like, talk to like the youngins out there, how you used your social media, because every day, I mean, that half your job's tattooing. The other half, I feel like, is you posting on social media, connecting with people. Tell them how you got your name out there. Like it was kind of incredible.
So really, my logic is, you want to annoy people with your posts. Not like in a way like, oh, this guy's annoying me, unfollow. But like, you want, every time someone goes on social media, you want your name to be there. Whether it's stories, whether it's posts, like you want to stay relevant, you know?
Right.
Like you just gotta, and content, you gotta you want to keep them watching. Like you want to keep them interested, whether it's a video where they're like clickbait, or like on a story where I'll post my tattoo, but I have something covering it, to where they want to click and see what's under it. You know?
Yeah, you do that.
So like, yeah. So
I never even knew that's why you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Hi.
Yeah, you know.
Damn. So explain what, like, I mean, he was talking to me before that there's a difference between posting like Instagram videos and then the reels. Because like, I'm still trying to learn the whole social media thing. Like the whole, what is it? What is that? What's like, you know what I'm talking about? Damn, rhythm.
Yeah. Algorithm.
Yeah, my bad. I knew I was on top of my head, but like, explain how that works with like Instagram, like the reels, and videos.
Videos really just show, unless it's on the Explore page, it shows only the people that's following you. whether reels, it's kind of like how TikTok is. It shows up on random people's pages, and whether it's like the sound or if you're getting like, I mean, it's usually that the sound that makes it go more viral or
like a connection or
yeah,
something.
it's
Damn, I didn't.
you
Not
just
know
want
that.
to just like you want to keep people interested in like the more people are interested from like the first amount of views, like your views will go up.
Right.
Like if I have like the perfect video, it will just blow up. Like I had one 2 weeks ago, had 20,000 views. And I was like, what the hell? And it was like a video. It was just such a simple tattoo, but it was like the most perfect video, and it blew up.
Damn.
Yeah.
And it's just like that.
Yeah.
So you think social media is a big way that you get a lot of your customers?
You know, it's unfortunately it's a lot. you
Really?
know? Yeah. Like it's a lot of word of mouth, a lot of like my shop name, but like I get social media a lot.
Right.
Oh, I found you on Instagram. And I'm like, oh wow.
Respect.
Yeah.
Dude, so we're sitting here now. You're tattooing, you're killing the game. And you said in the beginning of this interview that coming out of college, or when you dropped out of college, you're feeling real low. What would you tell that kid right now?
I would tell them keep pushing. Like times are gonna get better. Like
You made it.
yeah.
For real, though. Because there's a lot of kids out there that, I mean, are just sitting at home right now out of high school.
And I would never forget that feeling, man. Like I get it. Like people even scared to even leave college because of like. So I'm glad I had the courage to actually leave because I don't even know what I would be doing right now. I would be happy. I knew that. And I know people are scared to leave, whether it's parents or friends. And like, it got to a point where I almost didn't have a choice, but I took that choice to leave. You know, but definitely just keep pushing. Don't worry about it. I wish someone told me, like, I was 19 years old, and I'm just like, oh, my life's over. I'm 23 now, and my life's still far from over. I need to, like, you can't worry about that stuff. Like,
And that's the
there's
thing.
so
I
much
feel like
time.
a lot of high schools, like, especially around this area, like, all they push is college. And don't get me wrong, I took the college route, but played sports, and that was one of the main reasons I went. I really I liked college, but there's a lot of kids that like all you ever hear is college. You don't hear about the union or tattooing or becoming a barber. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
that's
Like
the
I feel like it's a
thing.
whole like money scheme
Yeah.
between like high schools to college. I'm just like,
That's the thing that sucks, man. Like, I wish I felt like I had an option. Like, Garner Valley, great school.
Great
Love
school,
it. Like,
best
it's
school.
the best school, bro.
right.
But, like whether it was, like, high school 101 or career development based on, like, college classes and, like, everyone's taking that real serious. I wasn't because I'm just, like,
Just chilling.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's just
didn't-
another class. Like,
Right.
What the hell? But then
Trying to play football. For real.
But it came to a point in senior year, bro. I'm like, oh shit, college. Everyone's doing their SATs, and bro, when I did my SATs, so thank God, like I went to college and I left, but I won't take that back. Personally, I met people there I still talk to every day, so I won't take that back. But my ex-girlfriend at the time, she signed me up for my SAT, and it was the last possible one. And like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I'm like, all right, thank you for doing that. And I took like thank God for her because I wouldn't have done that shit. I wouldn't have been able to go to school and then I would have been like, oh
Whoa.
shit.
Right. The pressure is on.
Yeah, but I wish in school there was another option, or you can tell people there's another option because they just forced, oh, college, where are you going to go, blah, blah, blah. Now, like, what are you going to do? Like, here are the options for you, stuff like that. I wish more schools were like that.
Right.
Because it really messes with people. Because, like me at the time, like I was like, oh, I'm not going to school in my low life.
And that's the thing is like, I mean, it's not just Garner Valley.
Yeah, it's every school.
Across the country. So my man, like we had so much fun at Garner Valley. I mean, just the good times and the football to just all the grades. That's the one thing I loved about our high school was all the grades were so close. I mean, talk about like your friend group and how many guys deep you had, like the girlfriend groups and I mean how are still some of your friends today, and it's like Talk about it with me for a second.
Bro, I think my friend group, I think we had about, I think it was probably like 14 guys, like 16 girls around that. We had about, I'm going to say a rough like 32 people in our friend group who hung out every single weekend, which is, it's crazy because like, even like, when I started college and telling people that, like, what the hell? Like,
It's kind of crazy.
Me. I'm like, bro, we partied, we had great times every weekend of the year. No one ever believed me. I'm like, bro, this is how we did it there, and it was just normal.
It really.
I thought it was normal until I started.
Until you left,
bro. I thought that was just like how high school stuff was.
I really did too. That's the craziest part.
Like, why do you have so many friends? Like,
it's kind of how it was, yeah. So, like, going off of that, I mean, through college and through the rough times, were they always just in your corner? I mean, when you're feeling down, were they there for you where you were just like, they brought you back to, like, happiness? You know what I mean?
So one thing, which it was a toxic trait at that time, I would try to suppress that. I wouldn't really tell many people about it. But I knew that my friends made me happy, so I would hang around them a lot, as much as I can, for the happiness, you know?
Right.
They wouldn't know what I was going through, but I felt good around them, so I stayed around them. Around that time, I was hanging around Piedmont a lot, Patrick Bonner, and he was going to Westchester at that time. I was at his dorm all the time.
Right, just to keep you safe.
Bro, just to keep my mind
sanity,
straight, you know?
Right.
I was in a dark place, but
you made it out because of your boys.
Exactly.
Dude, so talk about your Garden Valley High School football career, man. You guys had a run your last year there. Senior year.
Bro, that's like, it's an experience that you can't even explain to anyone unless you were there. Like, unless you're in the Garden Valley football program, like, you have no idea what it could be like.
One of the best times of your life.
Bro, like, it's crazy because you can talk to other, like, even people in the district going to other high schools, and like, they never had that connection, like that overnight camp. Like, there was something about that. Like, I hated it, but I loved it at the same time. I'm like, oh, I gotta get woken up by whistles tomorrow morning. And you're going through, like, bro, you're struggling the whole time, but like in the middle of the struggle, there's a bunch of laughs.
Right.
And you're going through that with people you're super close with. So like, it's not like you're by yourself, just like going through the shit. Like, you're with all your boys, and you're doing it together.
And I think that was the most important part, is that camp. Like, they recently just, like, kind of got rid of it. They have it, like, halfway through it, like Valley Point Church. So shout out to Valley Point for keeping that tradition going. But, I mean, dude, that overnight camp was really, like, some of the times where, like, I never even talked to some sophomores or freshmen before, or not freshmen, but, like, juniors. And I'm like, damn, like, this kid's actually, like, really cool. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, we're just chilling. Like, sometimes you get tired of just hanging in your same old room. You know what I mean? Damn, dude, those were the times.
That made Garden Valley football.
It really did.
I definitely think that was like the connection with like the older grades, because I remember being obsessed with turtles.
You brought that John in high school,
bro. I had a Turtle Friday that I did. Every Friday I bring a turtle to school. I had a lot of pet turtles.
You were chilling in the locker room.
Bro, one time I had him I had like these cargo shorts on. I was in Miss Gumper's class. I had these cargo shorts on, 10. And I'm just chilling in class, and my pocket's wet. I looked down, this thing pissed all in my cargo pocket. My shit was soaked. One time on another Turtle Friday, or like two more stories. Another Turtle Friday, we're at lunch, and I'm chilling with the turtle in my pocket. Everyone knows I got the turtle. Jake Arters. He's like, yo, Woot, I heard you got a turtle. He walks up from another table. I'm like, yeah, you want to see him? So I pull him out, and he goes to pet him. Bro, I can't explain. He had to be there. He goes to pet him. The turtle latches onto his finger, right? And like, you can see in his face, he was so scared, but he was trying to be so nonchalant. He's like, Woot, get it off. Woot, get it off. Get it off, Woot. And like, I'm just like crying, laughing, because I'm like,
it's a turtle.
Bro, like, he was panicking. And like, I was laughing too hard to even help him. I'm like, sorry, bro.
Dude, those were the days. I forgot about that turtle, dude. Oh my God. I was just dying on here.
One time,
One time at band camp.
One time in band camp, I had a turtle in my locker, and everyone at that time, everyone knew my damn locker. So, bro, everyone knew my shit. Like,
The turtle was reeking.
so I'm in enhancement. I think it was Matt Lipoli. He went in my locker to go check out the turtle, and he went and a teacher, I think it was her techie, walked by and was like, "Is that a turtle?" And like I don't know what he said, but ended up Mr. Lehman came and got it and released it in the little creek next to the tennis courts.
Were you tight?
Bro, I was pissed. I'm like, that's Pablo. That's my guy. But ended up, he found out it was mine. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go, like, search for it." And he brought me out. We went to the tennis courts, and this man's walking through the creek, getting his like pants wet. I'm like, damn. And we couldn't find it. He felt so bad. I felt like he felt bad. I'm like, all right, it's okay. Like I shouldn't have brought the damn turtle to school. I guess.
Did you ever find it?
No. R.I.P. Pablo. Hope you're still out there.
Should we talk about the nickname Stretch?
No, that's for another day.
Uh-oh. We got a legend in the building. Whoa. Let's go. What is happening, my guy? Chris Bradley in the house right now? You jumping on with us?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's go. Chris Bradley jumping on. Stay tuned. All right. Let's go. We got the Bradster on. I mean, he just made a surprise appearance, and I live at my parents' house and got this little setup down in my basement. So Chris came over, visited the parents and me, obviously, and stopped in and saw me and Woot. And next thing you know, he's on here with us. How you doing, brother?
Doing great, man.
Let's
Happy
go.
Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, both of you guys.
Hump day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how you been, man?
Great, man.
Yeah?
Rocking and rolling, yeah.
So recently, American Idol?
Yeah. Trying new stuff. So
Okay.
kind of to his point of, that whole seeking discomfort type of thing.
Right. So tell
Yeah.
everyone out there that doesn't really know you or
Yeah,
have heard
sure.
of you and
Sure.
kind of like what you're doing with American Idol and how you started and
Yeah, of course. So Chris Bradley, oldest brother of all the brothers, 29
And
years
Woot.
old, and Woot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. About 4 years ago, got into wanting to learn guitar. My entire motto is seeking discomfort in order to advance yourself professionally or personally, whatever your goal is. Very similar to kind of like what Woot did of finding his path and his way. One of the things that I always wanted to do was guitar. And, I tried doing the YouTube thing and hit a wall. And I'm like, damn, I really like this. But I keep hitting this wall.
Mm-hmm.
So my former CEO, Chad Parnas,
the
is
worst.
like, why don't you just hire someone? So I'm like, that's actually a pretty good idea. Like, I enjoy this, put $100 in it, whatever.
Yeah.
So I went on Craigslist. And
Craigslist is clutch.
it's not a normal
Bro.
place,
Bro.
Craigslist can be clutch.
Yes.
It can be good or it can be creepy. I don't know.
Yeah, I got you.
So I found this guy, Tony Giuliano, and he is from Delaware County, Drexel Hill original, went to Upper Darby High, and he's 84. And he had like this
Damn.
whole resume of like musician, and he did his master's, his undergrad in music and all this stuff. And I ended up reaching out to him. I'm like, hey man, like I want to see what you're all about. I'm trying to learn guitar and stuff. So he ended up, obviously coming over our house, and it was like the first session. And we came down in the basement, and like we did our session, and then at the end of it, he was like, so like, how many sessions do you think about doing? And I'm like, well, I don't know. How many do your students do? And he goes, well, I have one guy that's like, 15 years.
Is that Bono?
I did the same thing. How long? And then he's like, yeah. Well, then the other one was like 8 years. And I'm like,
Wait, why are you going to be alive?
am I putting this guy on payroll? Like, do I cut the check for payroll right now?
Right.
And I'm like, all right, how about because I'm imagining like, I don't know, 8 sessions, maybe 4. Not a whole year's worth of sessions. Like, so we did like 8 sessions, and then it rolled to like 6 months, and then it was a year, and then it was 2 years. And eventually it reached the point where I was like, with my parents, I'm like, hey, let's get I want to get a PA system.
Mm-hmm.
And you go half on it, I'll go half on it, we'll split it. That way I can start working on it. But like when I first started, like, how bad was it?
Brutal.
I mean,
Brutal, dude.
awful.
Dude, I
Awful.
was hiding the guitar. I was trying to break that song. I swear to God. Because, like, dude, my room's right outside. My room's right outside the window or right outside the deck. And I'll be hearing this dude. He's like, free falling. I'm like, bro, like, chill. It's 8 a.m., bro.
And I was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, really
but, dude,
bad.
Tony got you in good shape.
And just kept refining it.
Gotta
Got the
start somewhere.
PA system. And then from there, it was like, all right, let's practice on this thing. I had a beach house down in Sea Isle. And this is where this road takes crazy, crazy stuff. Very similar to your story of like that opportunity opened up and it was like, oh, okay. We're down in Sea Isle. I get a beach house with a bunch of friends every summer. It was COVID. COVID obviously shut all the bars down. And we're like, okay, well, I guess we're doing house parties. Mm-hmm. Well, we went over to my buddy Dylan's sister's house and the Eagles were there. Like the offensive lineman, the big dude. And
yeah, who are the is a Malo or the guard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, him.
And I was so messed up, I was calling him Troy Polamalu to his face. And it's a dumb moment,
Right.
but I ended up in the back room with my guitar, and there's a bunch of random people. There was like 10 of them. And I'm playing guitar. Yeah, I really messed up. Yeah. I messed up on that. So I ended up in the back room, 10 people, and I played some of my original songs that I created. Sea Isle City and Hey Caroline and, all those songs. And the one guy in the room had an entertainment company. His name was DJ Smooth. Austin is his first name. So he runs all like the entertainment for the beaches and also down in Philly at a lot of the nightclubs that he performs. And he was more or less like, you're unbelievable. Like you are really, really good. Well, next day we ended up hanging out on the beach and he was talking about how his business had completely gone down because of COVID and how he was struggling with all the restrictions and literally the government wasn't doing anything for him. So we kind of talked a little bit about that, but we had always stayed in touch. And then you fast forward probably like 8 months later when things started opening up, and he reached out to me and he was like, hey, I'm doing the bookings for La Costa, which is now the Ludlam had been bought over.
lit. La Costa is lit. OD too.
I had a couple drinks there, maybe one or two. And more or less, he's like, yo.
You're playing La Costa.
Yeah, do you want to play at La Costa? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll play at La Costa. Like, that is huge. This is my first time ever playing. Ever. Ever. And he's like, I'm going to give you a Monday time slot. It's the last week of July. It's a Monday. It's 4 hours. Have you ever done this before? I'm like, no. He's like, no? And I'm like, but I'm yes on doing it.
Yeah.
It gives me something to me. But to your guys, like through my head, I'm like, I need to really get my stuff and practice and put together a set list where I think a lot of people just think if you're a musician, you just go right into it. To your point on like with tattooing, building and building and building, put in a lot of practice of making the set list, and to the audience, you have to match the crowd. So obviously you're playing happy hour. I had 300 people show up. It was tremendous.
It was great. I mean,
you explain it. I mean, it was.
Listen to this guy. I mean, everyone out there, like I said last podcast, I mean, even with Woot trying out the tattooing and him playing the guitar, I mean, it all just comes down to embracing the uncomfortable. I mean, who would have thought Woot would be a tattoo artist if he never embraced the uncomfortable and actually trusted himself? Who would have thought that Chris Ballard would be playing at La Costa and if he never ever picked up the guitar because he was just listening to Inner Thoughts? I mean, at the end of the day, who would have thought I'd be sitting right here on a podcast if I didn't just full send it? So all the kids out there, if you're thinking about doing something, just do it. Honestly, like, I mean, look at us right now. We feel like kings right now.
Bro, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we made it, and we're gonna keep going until the end. I mean, dude, at the end of the day, I mean, we've came a long way. I mean, how many years we've known each other for, and especially me and Chris. I mean, we're brothers and all, but me and you, I mean, damn, we've known each other for 10+ years. And
I remember seeing Chris at my brother's parties.
right, dude, it's kind of like
15 years ago.
Yeah.
We had a drink or two there too.
Is it kind of crazy for you, like seeing us all like grow up too? Like,
I think it's really cool seeing you guys go in all your own directions and your own paths, and you keep refining it. And for me and some of the older peeps like Kevin O'Donohue and some of these GV alumni to try to open doors for you guys, and then vice versa, you guys opening doors for other people, and what we're doing here to be able to talk about this and mental awareness is huge. People go through anxiety and depression, but no one, it's not a safe zone to talk about it, or that I have therapists, and I think that's ridiculous. Like, you should be able to openly talk about that. That's what refines you as a person to keep moving to what your goals are.
Yeah, the inner thoughts are crazy sometimes, and next thing you know, we all just push them to the side, and we're sitting here.
Yes.
But yeah, I appreciate y'all coming on.
Of course,
Much love, yo. CJ Bradley, thanks for coming on. King Woot,
Good guy.
much love, brother. All right, boys. I hope and girls. I hope you guys enjoyed this wrapping up episode number 2. Woot, thanks for coming on.
Of course,
CJ
man.
Bradley, thanks for the surprise appearance. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, stay tuned. And we're just gonna keep getting better and better. And I know I was hearing a lot of things about the camera, and I'm working on a budget. I'll get there. And thanks for all the love and support that you guys gave me on my first episode. So subscribe and follow these guys on social media. Their usernames will be in the bio or in the comment section. So tune in. If you need a tattoo, hit up Woot. And if you need Chris Bradley like playing on your deck, just give him a call. All right, much love.